Alright, what's up guys? So it is another day as usual. So today I should be done today with the wire tuck, and I'm sorry if I didn't get to capture what I was doing before. Yeah, it was super busy, but it's actually not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I did watch a Maya 805, or is it 805? His VQ wire tuck, but I feel like his was a little bit too hard to follow along, just because it was kind of sped up or whatever. And I'm one of those people where when I would try to search a YouTube video, I try to find one that's like really helpful. And I mean, don't we all? But I want to make this video so I can try to help anybody else who wants to do a wire tuck, and I'm gonna try to do my best to explain as best as I can. Because again, I feel like this is something that most people should be able to do if you're somewhat mechanically inclined. It's really just taking off wires, disconnecting them, and trying to figure out how you're gonna route them. But so in Maya 805, he actually has the VQ35DE, the rev up. I have just the non-rev up, and I mean it's basically the same engine, but the rev up engines have like an extra sensor towards the driver's side. I forget what it is, if it's a cam sensor or something like that. But one thing that kind of freaked me out was when he had to extend one of the cables or whatever, and that was kind of like, oh, it's gonna take much more time. But again, I'm gonna do my best to explain this, and we'll get to it. Just a quick look at the G right now. That's where we're at. All right, so you know, with these cars, you have a big fat plastic or wrap wire, whatever it's called, wrapped all around here. You know, you might have like a bracket here. Take all of that off. You're gonna just delete everything. Basically, all the wires are like held together, and they're kind of like smushed together. Like they'll be kind of like tangled. It's kind of like, you know, like a girl's hair. You know, it's well, you know, when it's braided, you know, it's like over and over. That's kind of what they did with these engines. They kind of braided something over, and like again, just to make it all fit. So really what you're doing is you're pretty much untangling it, and then you're gonna one by one piece it like a hair strand, if that makes sense. But yeah, again, you want to take all the plastic with a knife, a blade, whatever, and again, take off all the plastic. And the hard part is gonna be over here. You have like you see this plastic bracket? Yeah, that dirty plastic bracket. Yeah, it's a plastic bracket that kind of holds all the wires together over here. And you're gonna have to take off a bolt from the back, which I did. And then when I was trying to take it off here, hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so basically it's this bracket. So and I will put a clip, or yeah, a clip, whatever, when I was trying to take it off. So this is on the back, like hold on, let me try to figure this out. Okay, so it's something like this on the back, and then you're gonna have a bolt right here, and you're gonna have to go under the collar and push your hand through it and try to yank it off or whatever. But and then the tough part is, so again, it holds all the wires together inside of here, and then you have these like whatever you call these that are connected, so you have to like snap them off. But I ended up just breaking it off because again, I'm not gonna need this. So once you take that off, you will have way much more room to play with, because again, the bracket comes up to here and you really can't, you know, pull them back like now. Again, once you take that off, you'll have much more room to play with them and do whatever you want. All right, so we're under the car, And this is where the manifold is. This is the passenger side. So I saw a Maya, I forgot what it is, 5 or something like that. He was doing the VQ wire tuck. Fuck. But he was doing it from like the rear with like an extension. But if you can actually reach your hand, see where that blue sensor is? I have the ratchet right there, and it's a 10 millimeter. I have a small ratchet and a small little socket, a 10 millimeter. If you can fit your hand through here, you will be able to get it through like this. It is kind of hard to break it loose at first, but now you know. Now I can actually untorque it. So it's actually not as hard as I thought it would be. But again, I have all this, you know, it's right here where all the suspension part is. You put your hand through here, and then I should let go of the harness from up top. Again, these are the manifold and the catalytic converter. Passenger side, 10 millimeter. And some of the things you're gonna need, obviously, you're gonna need some zip ties, and then this is the tape that I got. It's a 3M, yeah, like a 3M Scotch, I believe. Yeah, 3M Scotch from O'Reilly's. It's a 221 for high temperature, and I would advise to wrap it twice. I know that may sound kind of like tedious and like really like a lot of work, but you know, you want to make sure these wires are wrapped. So I'll get to this in a minute, but just so I can explain quick, you know, I wrapped this, you know, once, and I plan to wrap it twice again, just so it has an extra protectant, and then I will be adding this Easy Loom on top of it again, just so it can be really protected. So again, yeah, the electrical tape, zip ties, and then you can buy this from O'Reilly. It's called Easy Loom. It says it's rated for 375 temp, but the way it is, you can't really tell, but you can kind of see like sunlight like poking through like the holes or whatever. And again, like to me, well, if it's not like completely sealed inside, then I feel like the heat's still gonna get through it. So again, that's why I'm trying to be extra safe, and I'm gonna wrap it twice and then put this on top of it so it looks good. But not gonna lie, this is kind of expensive. This is like 25 bucks, I think 30 bucks, and I bought 2 of them. It's about, I forget how long it is, but you're gonna need at least 2 most likely. And obviously you're gonna need your blades, and you're gonna need this heat shield, whatever. So I'm actually gonna probably go back and return this, because this is actually a again, it's a sleeve for high heat temperatures. But what I'm gonna do with this is I plan, you can see how these wires are kind of exposed down there, and it's kind of hard to try to wrap it with tape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that heat shield, but go back to O'Reilly's and buy the Velcro one, the one that you can open up and put it on, because obviously that is way too small, and there's no way I can, you know, fit it through all of these wires, you know. All right, so now I'm gonna try to break down the wires and whatever. Again, once you take everything off, you're gonna want to one by one try to, you know, disconnect the wires that are over here. Like this is the solenoid sensor or whatever, which is this one. Again, you're just gonna take it off and trace it all the way to the back, and basically I'm gonna put them all the way, you know, somehow adjust it on the back and make it come down to this side. And then you have the you take off, there's a sensor right here and then a sensor at the bottom. So you will have to jack up the car and take those off. And I believe this one is, oh, it's actually, wait, hold on. My bad. Okay, my bad. I found it. Again, you're gonna want to take off all the wires and make sure you trace them back so you can one by one piece them together. So, you know, this is the two sensors that you take off from over here. Again, sensor right there, and one at the bottom. And this is how I pieced them. Again, the electrical tape, and then this this Loom tape does come with this like silicone tape. I say tape because it's not sticky. You just take it off this little wrap, you cut it, and then you just wrap it, and I guess the silicone kind of just sticks together. So that's just really to seal off ends. I mean, you can use this, and then you can use the electro tape as well. So what I did is, you know, I always put the silicone on this one, and then I measure it by two hands, like one, and then two, and then I'll put like tape. So, you know, 1, 2, tape, because this does kind of want to open up, you know. And you can use obviously zip ties, but I think this looks a little bit cleaner because it looks kind of ugly when that's poking out. But again, you trace them all one by one. You're gonna put this on the back somewhere over there, tuck it, make it come over here, and then you're gonna connect that, obviously. And then this one's actually easier. This is one where it's just like a whole, like it's all just bunched up together. It's a sensor. This connects to the I believe the O2 sensor at the bottom. It should be, yeah. So I haven't really finished this. Actually, I put what you can do, I put 2, yeah. So you can save some, you know, instead of like, let's say instead of putting the Loom on this one and then this one, you can actually put them together. You know, it's up to you how you want to do it, but you know, you can save more Loom. So yeah, that's what I did. There's 2 in there, so that's why it's a little bit thicker. But again, it makes it more easier compared to if I had 2. But it goes right there, and I still gotta put the Loom on this side. Like, you wanna really wrap the tape really well. If you're wondering why I have these tapes, it's because like for this hose, it's always important to put some sort of like mark on things that are disconnected. So when I'm putting everything back together, I'll be like, oh, I gotta plug up this hose, the hose for this, the mass flow sensor. But again, this is gonna be more easier to just tuck. I might fold this and put a zip tie to, you know, try to, you know, make it more, make more space. But again, keep everything organized. Push this to the back, and then this is the mass airflow sensor. Oh no, my bad. This is the ones we were talking about earlier. I already have the mass airflow sensor tucked down there, so it comes out from the back. And then this is where I'll have the quarter intake. Plug it up through here. Plug these right here. And then again, the toughest part is the way Infinity tangle them up all like this. So you gotta take your time trying to dissect them, I guess, and just make them be free. So this is the sensor. It's gonna go around the back, and it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna be the sensor for the solenoid. Again, everything's just gonna go on the back, and it will be messy if you just gonna have them all just in the back like this. So okay. It's a Honda, but yeah, it's easier if you're putting them all in the back. You know, you can get a fat zip tie and make them all, you know, be held together instead of having all these wires. Because, you know, you gotta think about the future when you're trying to get to this, maybe this, you know, you don't want to have all these wires right there. Okay, so now that we have all these wires over here, you know, now we have this big fat one, which is the sensor to the throttle body. Again, we're gonna put this all the way back. I'm gonna plug it up and adjust it. And then for these coils, I just took off the old ugly like tape, whatever, and just taped this up. It does look kind of ugly because it's like skinny than fat. Oh yeah, and another thing, again, sorry if I sound repetitive, but you know, when you're taking off the wires, they will be tangled. So sometimes you might have to like make one go over the other one just to have room. I did have to like disconnect these sensors right here, so I had space to like kind of route the other ones or whatever. If that makes, again, it'll make much more sense when you have everything off. But yeah, and then this is kind of where like I'm kind of stuck because I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. So like again, the way Infinity did this, man, it's just ugly. But you have this I don't know what sensor this is, but I just taped this up. But I guess you can kind of tuck this somewhere here. But the thing that I hate is how everything is like together, but then they'll split off. So I was kind of really confused on what I was gonna do. And then you have like this like what was this? It was some sort of like, I don't know if it was like a sensor, but it's like a big fat box. So I had to like fold it. Again, you will have to like fold some of the stuff so you can kind of wrap it and have more space. Don't think this is all just one wire going straight. No, again, this is like a wire that's like twisted to make space. But then these are the sensors for the coils. So, and the kind of the part that I hate about this is the way, again, everything else is tucked in the back. It can really go, but the way this is like all held together, you know, if I tuck this over here, it's gonna be like, see how this is? I don't like that. I gotta figure something out. But other than that, I have everything else where I know it's gonna be. It's just the wires to the coil packs that I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it. And then, so this is all just one, and then I separated them one by one. And I might end up having, again, when I put everything together, I might continue to tape all of this up again, something like that possibly. Again, it just depends on what I figure out at the end. And then, so this is the wire for the ground. So these are actually the ones that are held right here up front. Again, you see how this is? I have this wire, you know, hanging out through here. So I gotta figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with that. But let's put this to the side. So down here you have the alternator right down there, and it's just one wire that there's like three. I forget if these are all connected to the alternator or not. Whatever, you'll figure it out. But again, there's one that's connected to the alternator, and then these are all pieced together. So one's the alternator, one goes to like some other stuff or whatever. But you can you have to disconnect both of these. So then you're gonna have to actually bring this all the way up, because again, you're gonna bring it up so you can have like adjustability, because I think these wires that go to the alternator were like way over here. So again, I have to like untangle it. It might be different for you, it might not, but I untangled it, and then I took off the old plastic, whatever this is called, plastic heat tape, I don't know. And then like I kind of halfway added the Loom, because you know this part is gonna be way down there, so you're not gonna see it. So just to make it look nice. But yeah, that's what I did. And then you're gonna have to tuck it off. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was mounted onto here. something was mounted right here, and then I'm gonna tuck this down here, and then you have these wires for the battery. I've seen somebody, you know, take off this bracket, and then they move it through the power steering. So they put it through under here, this like little bracket, and they put it over here, which doesn't make much of a difference, but you definitely will have much more space trying to get stuff over here. And again, you can do that, or what I'm thinking of doing is drilling a hole kind of like this, but more towards the bottom, and then putting the loom on this, and then routing it, you know, inside of there, so then it goes from like inside here and there, so you can take this off. But again, for right now, I'm just focused on the engine bay, but I will want to do this later. And then I have seen in my 805 as well, route this harness through the side, because you have like a hole like down here, but then you gotta take off this fender, and you know, like, I'm not doing that right now. In the future I will, hopefully. But again, right now I just want to take off all of this. Okay, so I found the bracket. So this is so you see these 1, 2, 3 holes, and here goes the fuel. You know, these are just to bolt it down, but this is where the fuel rail goes, and these holes right here are to mount it to the plenum. And then this, like, this little tubing, whatever, is where the vacuum hose goes, bars, which is this one. This is where the vacuum hose goes. I believe there's a vacuum hose, something like that. I'm sorry if I'm not, but whatever. But you usually have like a small little hose right here, and then it goes on over here, and then this routes it to right here where this bracket is. So basically this is just a waste of space, because again, a hose goes right here, it routes it all to here for another hose to go right here, and then this fuel line, it basically just, the fuel goes through here, and this this was mounted on, move this right there. So this was mounted on through here, but you just take all of this off, you go to O'Reilly's and you get a vacuum hose. It's a 1/4 inch, and I should have to cut it because it is kind of long, but I don't know, I've kept it like this just for now. And then you could put like a bolt right here, whatever, but I just have it down here. And then here's one of the toughest part. So this this fuel hose, whatever, inside of it, there's actually like a really stiff plastic hose, kind of, and then outside, as you can see, it's cracked, and I was trying to take it off, because I thought I was trying to take off this piece, but again, it's just like a plastic piece, and it doesn't really want to bend. So the problem is, you see how this is slanted rather than upward. So obviously I had to mount this slanted, but this hose inside has like its shape already, kind of like this hose. It has its shape already. So the problem was, when I put this down, this would want to go up, and it would like it would bend the hose like this. It would kind of like, you know, and I was scared that it was going to cut fuel supply. So what I did was I try to make it flow smooth. You know, when you're washing like your car with like a hose, and then you're kind of dragging the hose, and then like it just kind of gets like tangled or whatever, and then it cuts off the water supply. Yeah, that's the same thing. So what I did, I'm sorry, all this stuff is hurting me, so I put a zip tie on this like little bracket, this one, and I kind of did bend this back, and then I put a zip tie down here because this is where it was like bending. So the reason why I put the zip tie, again, it was so I could like make it flow instead of being like just bent, you know, so that the fuel can flow good. So you might have that problem, you might not. I personally did, but that's one thing I would definitely look out for when you're trying to do this. Again, it's really easy. There's no check engine light gonna come on, nothing. Again, it cleans it up. You know, having this stupid bracket just right there, because again, this is just a waste. You know, it just goes right here and just whatever. It's just the same thing. And really, the reason why Nissan or Infiniti did that is just because, you know, just to make it look nice, I guess. Yeah. So some other honorable mentions for doing a wire tuck. You know, it's not just tucking the wires. It's, you know, taking things you don't need. You know, making the engine bay look nice. So right here, you have a coolant hose that runs through right here beside the thermostat. So what you can do is, you know, you can delete that hose, go to O'Reilly's, and buy these. I forget what these little rubber parts are called. Yeah, again, I forgot. But you buy these, and they usually come in like different sizes. It might come like a 3-pack, whatever. And then you buy these, and you want to make sure. I almost made the mistake. I put the one that it fit, but it wasn't like snug. So I was like, oh, whatever, I can just put this on and make it tight. But now you want to make sure, because there's pressure inside of this. You want to make sure when you put this little piece, you want to make sure that it's actually like really snug, like, you know. And then you want to torque this down really good with your hand, or not your hand, I mean a wrench or a socket, whatever. Because, you know, you see the way this is kind of like bubble rounded. Because again, that's the pressure. And I didn't have to like bleed the coolant or whatever. No air got in the system, but you do want to run it just to make sure if you lose too much coolant. So just be aware of that. And then I did a pulley delete, which is mounted from right here to this bolt to this bolt. You take it off, I believe, to 14 millimeter and then 17 millimeter, and then you can buy this spacer from Z1 Motorsports. I will leave it in the description. It's like, I think it's like $6, but again, you basically put in there, and now you have a clean, you know, it's not there. And you will have to get obviously a smaller belt. So the one that I got is from O'Reilly. It's a Gates belt. I don't have the part number right here, but it should be a 45 inch. Or you can go and ask him, I need a belt for an FX35 2008, I believe, should be. But again, once I turn the car on, I'll be able to see what part number it is. If not, again, I will link it down in the description, so it makes it a lot easier to know. It's best when YouTubers put everything together, so you know you're not looking. And then this doesn't really consist of a wire tuck, but it makes the engine bay look nice. So with Infinitis, they have this the stock one. This is the coolant bleeder when you're bleeding your coolant. So the OEM one is a plastic, cheap ass plastic, and you know you get what's it called? I can't think right now, man. A screwdriver, my bad. Yeah, a screwdriver, but over time it kind of strips it. So you know you're kind of fucked right there. So you can buy this from Z1 Motorsports. Again, I will leave it in the description. It is kind of expensive, I guess. I mean, it's like $36 for an aluminum piece, but it looks nice and it helps you in the long run. So I think it's totally worth it. I don't care. And then I did buy these hose clamps. I personally like these over these other hose clamps. You know, these break, man. These are the devil. These break on you. And I literally had to take off the whole entire plenum just so I can take this off. So when you are taking the old one off, you want to lift these hoses upward so you don't lose too much coolant. So first you want to lift this one up and then take it off and put the aluminum coolant bleeder, and then you want to connect it. So again, I didn't have to add coolant or no air got in, the car didn't overheat. But again, just make sure you let it run, you drive it close by, you know, and just in case anything happens. Because I was thinking, shit, do I have to, should I go to the dealership and buy some coolant in case it does happen or whatever? But you should be fine. Again, I did that, and the coolant hose deleting, it was completely fine. And I had looked, you know, I ain't no electrician shoddy, but I know you see how fine these this red job is. That shit looking mad clean, yo. So I really shouldn't have to show you this, but I'm gonna show you guys how to get a clean wrap, so you're not wasting tape, you know. So you might have the urge to just completely make it go straight, you know, around. But what you're gonna want to do, and I'm sorry guys, I'm doing this with one hand, but you're gonna want to, you know, do it like this, then curve it like this. I don't know what angle that's called. Bring it around, and then pull it all the way up, and then do it again. So, you know, this is the dividing line. So, you know, you're saving much more tape doing this. Yeah, you get the point, yeah. Okay, so I pretty much have all the wires completely wrapped in Easy Loom. So, you know, what I'm thinking is, so I put some zip ties to hold this together so it'd be less of a mess. So, you know, you have the sensor for the solenoid, and then the sensors that go down here. And what I'm thinking is, I'm gonna just to be extra more safe, I guess, I'm thinking of going to O'Reilly's real quick and getting a what I was talking about earlier, the heat shield. But I can't fit that because these sensors are too big. So I need to buy the one that is the Velcro, the one you just wrap around it. So I'm thinking of doing that, and then putting that in the back, making it come through down here. Well, I am also thinking of I'm thinking about putting this one as well. Again, just so it's less of a mess, so everything's just together. Like, you know, kind of how like originally it is. It's just all together. And then this is the throttle body sensor. So yeah, I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's real quick, and I'll be back. So as you can see, the day is going by. Now the sunlight is everywhere. It's kind of hot as fuck, but I guess you can kind of see now. But for this side, for this sensor right here, I'll get that later. I just cut little pieces of Loom, taped it up. I'm gonna just skip this, man, cause you gotta unplug this and whatever. You gotta unplug this. Again, it's just little cut pieces, and you tape it up to make it look clean. And then you just kind of like tuck it right here, or I guess you could put like a little zip tie to hold it right here or behind here. Again, it's just personal preference, but I'm trying to tuck it right there, and that's how you do that. Oh shit, man, I forgot to ask what you want from the store, bro. But oh yeah, we went to O'Reilly's. Got this, the Velcro, so should give us more space to put on the back. And then I'm thinking of putting this halfway, but I'll see what I'll do with that. Houston, we have a problem. All right, so I just put this on to these three, but again, I told you guys I was gonna put it on the back because there's some wires exposed. But then the problem is we have this one is just sticking out like a tree branch. This is the one that goes down to the alternator. So I'm trying to think, how can I put this over? Because now, oh, I'm stupid, bro. I just have to open this hole. I'm stupid. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Damn, this shit looking like a schlong hot dog, but it's kind of big, bro. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, so I cut off like about 4 inches or something, and then I just wrapped some of these from the back. Damn, focus. And again, wrapped it right here. It's kind of tough because since I cut this the Velcro kind of messed up, so that's why I put this zip tie. But yeah, that should be good right there. Okay, so once you put the hot dog on it, you have to route it down here. Make sure there's no hoses like in the way. You will have to fit your hand kind of through here to try to grab the cables. The basic goes down here and comes out through right here. And then we have three. We have the one for the, it goes down that sensor and one at the bottom. That's what this is. And then we have the mass airflow sensor, which will be plugged up somewhere right here. And then we have the throttle body sensor, which will go right here somewhere. So these are the three that I would try to, route together. Again, it's easier to put this on so you seal it all and you don't have like all those three, whatever. It's much easier like this. Yeah, that should be it. So now you got the rainbow one, as I call it, the one that goes to the O2 sensor, and it's right from over there. I just put like a zip tie right there, and then I'm just gonna tuck this going down here and just adjust it. So that's that. Here we have the, oh shit, where'd it go? The solenoid sensor, which it goes down pretty much the same way where the hot dog came, you feel me? The reason why I couldn't, at first, I did try to, sorry, excuse me. At first, I did try to put this one inside the hot dog, but then it ended up being too short. And as you can see, even with that taken out, it barely reaches. Well, yeah, it reaches pretty good, but it's still kind of pulling a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, this one will have to be separately and not in the heat wrap. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but here you have the wiring to the alternator. So now I will have to, it's three. I will have to tuck it down through here and go under the car and plug it back in. Sheesh, shorty got a daddy, bro. She got that big bottom bar. Okay, so yeah, this one I'm talking about. You got the alternator. Oh shit, that's too zoomed out. The alternator. You gotta get these down from the passenger side. The three sensors, and there's one that goes right here. I don't want to sound stupid, but I forget what this sensor is for. Oil sensor? I don't know, man. Yeah, so there's 1, 2, and then the third one is I'll find it in a minute. Oh, okay, I found it. So yeah, again, you have the alternator plug, the whatever this is, oil, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. And then you have the third one that goes right where this hose is, tightening right there. Yeah. Hey, I can roast me all y'all want, bro. So, on like G35s and 350Zs, how the fender liner always fucks up. So I have my engine cold air intake that hangs like right here. But since I don't have the fender liner, because the cold air intake sits right here, and water could get in it, even though I have the hydro shield. So look what I did, bro. I cut up this oil whatever container and did this, bro. Hey, whatever, man. If it works, it works. Okay, so now you have, from up top, you have the two sensors. The one that goes, oh shit, it's greasy as hell, bro. Oh, I gotta clean this up, man. Yeah, I gotta do my timing cover. I've had this leak for like a year, and then I might just I gotta clean all this up. And then it is leaking from the thermostat, which is up there. So it's leaking coolant too. So I gotta fix all of this, because that shit is doo-doo, bro. That shit is gross, man. Look at this for real. But yeah, connect through here. Gotta clean that up real quick, and then up top there. Alright, so we got it plugged up now, but look at this, man. It gives you so much space to see now. You can see all this nasty ooey gooey thermostat, but now with this space, the whole plan for this engine base, give it a makeover. Again, I already got the painted timing cover in the cut. Now I can take this off. You got a bolt right there. I can take that off in the future. Runs through there and clean it up and paint it up. So now I just thought about this, but you have this little bracket connected like right here. It kind of holds this sensor down. It goes like right there, something like that. But you want to take that off, and then you can connect this back. Instead of it being held like right here, you can actually kind of push this one down and have more free room. It's up to you guys. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is, because again, I hate how this is all just bunched up, because this is the last thing I have to do, the sensors for the coils. But I hate how this is bunched up, so again, you take off this bracket, you can sit this down, and then what I'm thinking, I'm gonna bunch this up and tape it up so it looks like it's all one, I guess. But it's kind of fat right here, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with the loom. I might just put some heat wrap on it. I don't know, bro. I have no idea how long this video is. I hope it's not more than like 30 minutes, bro. But basically, yeah, I fixed up all this over here, just taped it up, and then this is the wires for the coils, which I have right there, and I squidded them out, and then I still have this mess right here of the ground. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna put one, yeah, right there and right there, and that should be it. All right, man. So this might be the final review before I put everything back together. You have this taped up. Tuck it down here, and then this you gotta bunch it up. It's too fat right here, so I can't put the loom, the fruit of the loom boom. So then this we have the big fat, like I don't know what it is, like some sort of sensor or whatever, but it's this type of shape. And again, everything else is tucked through the back, and this goes to the coil pack. So right here, the sensors, it splits out into 3. I'm not even gonna bother putting the loom right now. I'm done with this. But everything's routed towards the back. And again, they split right there from the ground. It's a bug on me, sorry. And you put the tape right there. Right here, you put the ground, and then the ground right here. It's a little bit, for me, it's a little bit tight right here, because again, you don't have much. You can have to like, drag it out. You could route it, nah, because then you got to put the planar manifold right there. So towards the back is good. Oh, I could tuck it like over, yeah, right here. There we go. That's perfect. But I hope that helps everybody out. And we'll be back to show once the whole plenum is put back together. What's up, guys? So this is actually about 2 weeks later after I finished the wire tuck. This is the final result. I did install and make a video on the JDM battery cover and the clutch master cylinder. I forgot what it's called. And I did install the Tomei, the aluminum Tomei oil cap. Damn, is that an oil? Fuck, I messed it up. Is that a Tomei oil cap, dog? Yeah, everything's turning out good. I did paint the lower intake plenum. So yeah, everything's been running fine. No check engine lights, nothing, no problems. I did have one problem the day I was trying to take it home. So if you remember earlier in the video, well, let me get to this first, but I might throw this clip later on in the video just so when I was talking about it. But in the video earlier, I was talking about how you should put the ground cable on the valve cover, but that was stupid because obviously you're not gonna get ground from that, so you will have to mount the ground cable on the plenum, because obviously it's metal contact. So yeah, back to what I was saying about the one mistake that I made earlier in the video. I called it the rainbow cable because it kind of went like this, and then I kind of like fold it and then squeeze it down by the push it down by the transmission down there. So that was a mistake that I made, was I wasn't being too careful. I was just trying to, just trying to rush it, because I don't want to have like a big bunch of cables over here, wires, etc. So what happened was, when I was taking it home, this is like probably like 10 minutes of driving, 15 minutes. What happened was the cable fell. Oh shit! Sorry, I got a message. The cable fell on top of the flange of the catalytic converter. And it started melting it, but luckily, I put over, and I did end up having to tow the truck. I did get a tow truck, and we towed it back to the shop. And then I found out that was the problem. It was the cable to the I believe the injectors. So what was happening was that it was too rich. It was I think the whole time it was just shooting gas, because like I said, it was the cable to the fuel injector. So, I mean, that's obviously not gonna happen to you guys. Just learn from my mistake. Don't be stupid, and don't rush these things. Make sure there's no cables that are gonna be touching like the again, places that get really hot, like melting point. I do have right there is the cover for the headers, but as I call it, the hot dog, the heat shield, it's not touching it. But yeah, just make sure to space everything out, and you should be fine. It's a nice, beautiful day out here. It's fall. Trip check. But yeah, that should be it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I hope this was really helpful. I know it was really long. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out, guys.